Hello. Happy Sunday night. Hi. Oh, okay. I'm just looking at your comment, Judy. You're out on the town. I hope so. Hope you're doing something fun. And I hope that you enjoy watching, even if you can't listen. Hey, Jean. Oh, that's a bit strange. Did your cat eat all the birds, I wonder? That's a bit strange. It is nice to hang out with crafty friends. I'm really glad to see everybody's here tonight. Hi there, Jenny. Winifred, hi. You're a little bit early and I was like a minute or so too late. Yeah, so there we go. Hello, hello. You've had no power, Jean. Yeah, that is very odd. Hello, Rose. Hi, Margaret. Nice to see people here on a Sunday night. I hope you've all had a great weekend. For those of you who are here in Australia, of course, it's back to the grindstone tomorrow for some of us. I'm one of those really lucky people that I love what I do. This is what I do. So Mondays are as good as any other day because I get to do what I love every day, and I'm very, very, very fortunate. I appreciate how lucky that makes me. Okay, just looking through all the messages. Says I have new comments I haven't seen. Hi, Cherie. Hi, Nairi. Oh, so many people here tonight. Hey, Denise. Nice to see you all, people. Hey, Gina. Nice to see you. Anita, Joan. All right. Hey, Jenny. Hello, hello. All right. I'm going to get started quickly. I know you don't want to sit here and watch me just say hello all night. But I hope I haven't left too many people out, and my apologies if I have not said your name. Or you can listen. Ooh, okay. So tonight I'm going to make a card. Some of you may have seen on my blog earlier. I put it on, it's not on my blog, on my Facebook page and Instagram page. I put it either this morning or last night. I can't remember. I made it yesterday. And I thought I'd make it with you guys because it's got a couple of fun little things about it. So we'll switch over to the desk and we'll have a bit of a look. This is the last week for anyone who is in Australia, this is the last week of celebration. And if you're overseas and you're thinking, hang on, isn't celebration already ended? It did everywhere else, but here in Australia and New Zealand, they gave us an extra couple of weeks because we were missing some products at the start. So we kind of started slow, but we've, had a longer finish. So it's been nice. But all those products are going to be, so I may use for my second card, I was thinking I'll use a celebration product because it's the last chance I get to do that. And of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about Waves of the Ocean because that's my online class that's going this week. Some of you have already registered for the online class. Thank you so much to those who have. Hey, Cindy, nice to see you. Hey, Megan. All right, let's switch over to the desk. Nothing on it yet. Let me get the center this a little better. There we go. All right. Okay, so the very first thing, I've been playing for the last few days with the Waves of the Ocean products. Oh, hey, Angelina, nice to see you from the Netherlands. Lovely. Okay, so the Waves of the Ocean promotion, which is how we like to say it, is available now. It is a beautiful, beautiful suite of products. And if you haven't seen me playing with these before, you're going to know that I just love them. These are my colors. They just speak to me. They're gorgeous. So I'm going to show you the cards for the class that is on this week. If you're wondering how the classes work, basically, there's a period to register. Usually it's about a week. This time I've made it a little bit longer. It's about 10 days this time. And I'm going to see how that works. If that helps more people register, fantastic. And basically there's 3 projects. I will show them to you because I love them. I think they're really, really nice. So this is my first one, this one here. You don't have to have the stamps to make the cards. If you're in Australia and you're actually purchasing it, including the supply packs, and you do that with a $50 order or by buying the Waves of Inspiration stamp set, one or the other. You don't have to have the stamp set to do the class. The stamp set's only $39, so that's the cheapest way to get the class. And I send out all the products. I send you a link to the tutorial, the video tutorial, and a PDF with all the measurements and everything, so you've got that for future reference. And then you do the class in your own time. It's pre-recorded, so you just do it whenever you're ready, and you can pause it, you can rewind, you can do whatever helps you make the cards a little easier for you. So this is card number 1, and I did design it that you don't have to have the stamps. You can use your own sentiment here if you don't have it. It's a good way to get to know the stamp set and the suite so that you can decide whether or not it's something you would like to purchase. This is card number 2. This uses some of the gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Here's a second version. See, there's this one I did in the actual video. This one's the one I had already up on. I can't remember which one's which actually. They're both beautiful. So that's card number 2, and then card number 3 is a Z fold card. So it stands like so, and it opens up like this. Okay, so it's actually a really easy card to make. These are all very simple cards. So ideally, they would be great for someone who does a little bit of crafting, but would just like a little bit of inspiration. And maybe you're someone who just likes all the pieces chopped up for you. That I totally understand. It is sometimes just nice to sit down and create and not have to worry about cutting up the projects. So that's pretty cool. Megan Jody's in South Australia. So there you go. That's where she hails from. So those are the projects. So you get the tutorial, all the supplies sent out, and a PDF. Now, if you're overseas, you're not in Australia, which means you can't purchase products from me. And that's just the way it works. You can still buy the tutorial, or if you're in Australia and you don't need the products, you can still buy the tutorial. Okay, and the tutorial is $20. That's 20 Australian dollars. If you're in the US, that's a lot less than $20 because our dollar is not worth very much next to the US dollar. It's similar, as someone pointed out the other night, it's very similar to the Canadian dollar. So I think Canadian dollar is even a little bit better than ours. But yeah, that's just how that works. So the products that are in the whole suite, you've got the Waves of the Ocean collection, which is 140 Australian dollars, and that gets you everything. That's stamps, dies, papers, rhinestones, the whole lot. And here's all the products individually because you don't have to buy them all together. You can pick and choose the ones you like. There's the stamp set, the dies, the DSP, which is gorgeous. This is my favorite bit, is the DSP. The blue foils are also really, really beautiful, and the Waves rhinestones. Now, yes, she is. So these, I think, are beautiful. But if you're worried about your budget, you don't want to buy the whole thing, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to spread my purchases out, you want to get these 3 first because these ones are only available for a limited time. These 2 are going to be in the new catalogue when it comes out in May. So you can get these later. But these are the ones you would get now if you really want them because they're only going to be available until either supplies run out or for the limited time period, which is until the 2nd, the 2nd of May. Okay, that's the last day, provided they don't sell out before then. Let's have a quick look at the paper because it is so beautiful. You can see I've been chopping mine up. Just stunning. This paper is divine. And I am so glad they brought this out because it's just magic. So the colors in it, there's Pacific Point, Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy, and white, of course. And on the back, these colors is Daffodil Delight Petal Pink. Just gorgeous. This one is Daffodil Delight Petal Pink, and there's a bit of Calypso Coral in there as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They look like waves. They've been beautifully created by an artist who did these on canvases, and then they transferred those beautiful photographs to the paper. So just stunning. Some of them look like coral to me, like this has kind of a corally feel, and this one reminds me of turtles and turtle skin, especially some of these little bits here that look like they could be, you know, the skin of their neck. That's what that reminds me of. It's beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? And oh, the green in it is Granny Apple Green. I think I missed that. So beautiful. There's that lovely swirly one. There's a couple of pieces of that. And on the back of that one, we've got this, which has got the coral with a bit of yellow, and then the blues and greens as well. It's beautiful. I'm going to use that one tonight. So that might give away what I'm doing. Some more swirly paper there on the back. This one looks like waves coming into shore, don't you think? Isn't that lovely? Oh, I know. I see things like turtle eyes and things like that too. And then this one we looked at before, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we did. So you can see how beautiful they are. And it's not hard to understand why they've been so popular already. We didn't get them straight away in Australia. We've only had them in about a week and a bit, about a week and a half. And so now that we have them, I'm very excited. Can use them. So I thought we would make this card tonight because this is using the paper, okay, the paper that I just showed you. This is that corally kind of a one that's got the blues and greens on the same sheet. And I used it to create like an underwater scene. I know, Nari, it is beautiful. You're right. So I've already cut up these couple of pieces. I've used Pool Party cardstock here for the base of this one. And I made it a long card, but you wouldn't have to. You could make it a normal opening card if you wish. Same size cardstock, just a different shape. And then I've got a piece of Bermuda Bay. And then I've also got a piece of the gorgeous DSP, and I just chopped this piece up so it fits because of beautiful swirly paper on the back. But I'm actually going to, the only problem I have with this paper is it's so beautiful that I want to use both sides. So I ended up buying several packs so that I can use all the pieces that I want to use. It's really, really nice. So I thought I'd do something different with this tonight. Instead of using my Waves of the Ocean stamps, which I love, 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 instead of using those, I'm going to use a seascape one that we have called Seascape. And it's got this beautiful big piece of coral, and we've got some seaweed, we've got a little fishy, we've got some tiny little fish, like a little school of fish, and some nice sayings. Now, this one is one of the ones that is actually on sale at the moment. For those of you who don't know, that our mini cut and emboss machine is actually on sale at 20% off, and they've also brought out a whole bunch of bundles that fit through the mini to complement that. So that's pretty exciting. The bad news is I've had this stamp set for a while, and it was only when I went to pull it out yesterday to use it, and I was going to cut out the fishy, and that's when I realized I don't have the dies. So guess who has to buy the dies now? But that's okay. I cut it out by hand. It didn't take very long, and yeah, so my little fishy is cut out by hand because I didn't have the die. Never mind. All right, so I'm going to start with this paper here. Obviously, the blues are down towards the bottom, and the corally look up here is more towards the top. It could be sunlight coming through the water or something like that. So we're going to start with this as a base. It is a nice card. And the fishy is cute, isn't it? So I used a little bit of technique to get this card the way I wanted it to be. So I'm going to pull out the stamps out of the seascape. So I'm going to be using the coral set, the coral stamp. I'm going to be using the seaweed. I'm going to be using the fish. I'm going to use a little school of fish. And at the end, we'll decide what saying we want to have. This one, I use the one that's here that says, just thought you should know how wonderful you are. I thought that was really nice. I could use that one again. I liked the way that sat on this card. I thought it looked really good. All right, so let's pop a couple of blocks out. I've got block E for the big coral piece. And what will I use? I can either pop this on D block, or I could pick I might even just go with a larger one just because we can. That's a big one there, and I'll pop these guys. This is C. And then we've got little fishies on, this is block B. So there we go. All right. So the colours that I chose are pretty simple. Night of Navy is the one I used for the coral. I wanted that to sort of look almost like, I wanted it to be dark. And so I started out just inking that up. It's a really nice stamp, this one. And I want it just kind of off the page a little bit so that the stem is just below. So it just looks like that. I mean, straight away, this is such a nice set to create a sea scene with. I just think it's really nice. And then I used the seaweed one. I decided to go with Bermuda Bay, this is Coastal Cabana here. So this is a little bit darker. And let me ink that up. And I'm going to have one sort of off the edge here. And a little bit here. So kind of, it looks like there's a little bit of seaweed coming up through the coral there. Now I've got my, I didn't have to do a lot with this. I did put my, my little fishies, I wanted them sort of behind the coral. So you can see here, they're sort of swimming out from behind. So for them, I use Pacific Point, which is the color that's in the DSP here. It would be nice with the whale set. I think any of the sea scenes, or the other one is, you know, the one with the shells, that would look nice as well. What's that called? Why can I not think of what that one is called? Does everyone know the one I mean, the one with the shells? I cannot see it. I'm looking at my my stamp collection, and I know I lent it to somebody, but I thought I got it back again. Maybe I didn't put it where it goes. But does anyone remember? The Seize the Day bundle to use. That's a good one as well. Yeah, there's a few that look really good. I think it complements. I do need those dies. I know. I even know what I'd like to do with them. I'm just looking. Oh, have you got the set, Jenny? I'm just looking at my catalogue right now because I know it's in the annual catalogue. It was in one of the minis and then it went over to the annual. So let me just move that for a second. I'm just trying to remember. Does anyone remember what it's called? Now you know what the easiest thing to do would be to find the dies that match it, because there's an embossing folder as well. Do you guys remember there's an embossing folder that matches the dies? Here they are. Seaside Seashells is the die set, and it tells me it matches the Friends Are Like Seashells stamp set on page 27. There we go. So here it is here. 27. Pages stuck together, that's why. There, this one. I think you could do some nice stuff with this and those papers. Yeah, Friends Are Like Seashells. There you go. Megan and Denise all beat me to it. There you go. Thanks, girls. But yeah, it's on page 27 of the annual, and there's a matching die that cuts out all the different shells, and there's also an embossing folder, and there's also some little dies that cut out these little stamps here in the middle. So really, really nice set, and I think that would also go really nice with this paper. I think any sea kind of scene would work. All right, so let me grab my Pacific Point. Pacific Point, I really like this color, but I don't know why. I don't use it all that often, and I don't know why. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to stamp it off. I don't want them to be too dark. I want them to look like they're kind of in the background, so stamping them off so they're a bit lighter. And then we've got our little fishy. All right, so I'm actually going to do him on a separate piece, and then I'm going to cut him out. And let me just get my lids back on these ink pads. Give me a second, because I don't want to stick my elbows in the ink pads, right? We don't want that. Who else has done that? Stuck their elbows in an ink pad and ended up. I've also been known to have a stamp up, facing upwards, and leaned over and put my arm in that. And one time I kind of tattooed myself. All right, so I've inked this now in Coastal Cabana, which is a bit lighter. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of my markers, and I'm going to give his fins different colors. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. You can go straight over this, but if you want your colors to be really true, let me just grab a baby wipe. I've got a pack of baby wipes here that are kind of drying out because they're not closing properly. I'm just going to take some of the ink off the tail. You could also use a blender pen to do this, which might give you a little bit more of an accurate wipe. All right, that's good enough. I'm going to start with my petal pink because I'm going with the colors that are in here. So this is petal pink and there's a bit of Calypso coral in there as well. And I'm going to just do the tail and the fins with my petal pink marker. Now, I did actually accidentally wipe a little bit of Coastal Cabana off the fishy. So I'm just going to grab my Coastal Cabana and let me put that ink back on. And then I'm going to use my Calypso coral. And I'm going to do the end of the tail there. And we're going to do a bit of the fins. And then I'm going to huff on it to refresh any ink that might have dried a little bit. And we're going to stamp him. All right, this is how he comes out. Can you see? Oh, where is it? So there's a little bit of Coastal Cabana's come through, but I think it's close enough. It looks good. And it's a nice way of adding colour here and there so that you get the colours that you want. So I'm actually going to take it. I know it'll take a little longer because I don't have to dye, but yeah, I was looking at this going, why don't I have those dyes? I think what happened was sometimes when I'm putting in an order, if the order is a largish one, I get some host benefits. And I think what happened was I got this stamp set for free as a host benefit, but I didn't have enough for the dyes as well. And I thought, oh, I'll get those later. And then I forgot. So I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. Because normally if I'm actually spending money to get a set, I would buy it as a bundle because I want to save that 10%. But yeah, I think that's what's happened. Very unusual for me to get a stamp set and not buy the matching dies, unless I really don't think I see myself using them. But the ones that go with this have got that seahorse and they're really nice. I really, really like these dies. So those dies are on special. They're 20% off right now. The bundle, the stamps and dies. And there's the sunflowers. That bundle is on sale. The Quiet Meadow, the Welcoming Window. There's a whole bunch. The pansy dies, those ones, they're all bundles that go through the mini cut and emboss machine. All right, I think I may have missed some comments. I'm so sorry. You could white emboss the fish. That would look really nice. Good idea. I might have to try that. Hey, Tanya, nice to see you there. How they did the leaves in flowing flowers. I don't know, Denise. Which one do you mean? Is this a particular sample you're thinking of, or are you thinking of something in the catalogue? Let me grab the catalogue and see what you mean. Flowing flowers. Find them. There they are. Do you mean in here? Do you mean like these? Because those, yes, I would think that those would have been done with markers. So they would have inked up the stamps in the lighter colour, which is probably the coral. And then they've used something to wipe the ink off the leaves, and then they've coloured the leaves with the markers. And that's why the markers are so good. They're the same ink as what's in an ink pad. And it's a very simple technique called markering, and it's one I come back to often because it's a really great way of adding multiple colours to a stamp. Really great, really good one to do. Hey, Denise, never too late. Don't you worry. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but this fish definitely needs to be going this way because his eye is higher here. So that's the right way. If he was like this, he'd be swimming upside down. So I'm happy with him. He's going to go right about here. Let's put a couple of dimensionals behind him because dimensionals are great. I'm only going to use, I think, just one here and maybe a mini dimensional up where his tail is. So it's hidden up there. There we go. That's good. Let's take that off. Now, you can just leave it like this. On my original, I decided it looked rather cute to add one of our little black MAC dots, and I gave him a little eye. Do you think he looks better with the black eye, or do you think it looks better left white? What do you guys think? Whoever, if we're thinking of adding the black matte dots. That's these guys. And I wouldn't use a big one. That would look silly, but I use one of the smaller ones. So which one do you guys think? Without the black dot or with the black dot? First person is Denise, and she said black eye. Michelle says better with the eye. Nari says black eye. So that's what we're going with. We're going to go with the black eye. So let me just take that off there and pop that on. Nice and simple. Very easy, quick thing to do. And then we're going to, I'm going to just, you can use Tombow or whatever you like. I've just got some steel here on the table, so I'm just going to use that. And that's going to go onto my Bermuda Bay piece. You can see what a simple card this is. Very, very simple, but the paper makes it look special. There is one last thing I want to do with it, and I don't know if anyone spotted it on my original card. Can you see it if I move my card around? Can you see what it is that I've added? All right. First of all, I might add the sentiment. Oh, Jean said without. Sorry, Jean, you missed out. You think the black eye looks good, Janelle? Good, because that's what we got. All right. Did anyone see what's missing that's different about my original card to the one that I've just done? All right. And we have a few choices of sentiment. We have just thought you should know how wonderful you are, which is the one I used before. I do like that that takes up that whole sort of left-hand corner. We have I'm here for you always, which would go across. And we've got a thank you. Does anyone have, yeah, it's gold leaf. You guys are right. That is correct. Yep, bit of gold leaf. Very easy to put on. Gold leaf is actually one of those things that's really easy to work with, but a lot of people avoid it because they're worried or scared of it. So I will add a little bit of that and show you. Did anyone say which words they would like? Yes, buried treasure. I agree. You know, there could be a bit of treasure down there. Or sometimes, I don't know, if you ever look into the water and all the fish that you can't quite see the fish in the water as you look into the depths, but every now and then it's like a flash as a fish moves. You know, that kind of reminds me of that. So did anyone have an idea which sentiment we should go with? We've got the one about how wonderful you are. You've got I'm here for you always, and we've got thank you. Did anyone have a thought, or does it not matter? And because I've got, I could choose a couple of colors for my words. I could either go with the navy, or in this case, I use the Pacific Point because I've got that in the paper. So either of those two colors goes really well. Maybe I'll go navy this time. I think I will. You like the big one? Yeah, me too, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I agree. I think you're right. All right, let me go with that one again then, because I think it does look really good on our. So this says just thought you should know how wonderful you are. I'll add that to block D here. And I don't know where I just had my navy ink pad out. Oh, here it is. Found it. Big sentiment. Yeah, everyone's saying the same, so everyone agrees. It's got some nice little sentiments in this set. All right, I'm just going to move this up and stamp it. Spread down. Here we go. That's looking rather nice. Okay, so let's go with a little bit of gold leaf. I'll close that up. And the gold leaf is very easy to apply. I'm going to use my Tombow, and instead of using my thin nozzle end, I'm going to use the other end. And I'm just going to squeeze it so a little bit comes out. This one is nearly empty, but not quite. So can you see just a little bit of glue sitting there? And I'm going to add a little bit of glue here, and I'm going to sort of move that around a little bit. So basically your gold leaf will stick to whatever sticky it finds. And if you want to see where your glue is, that's too much, so I'm going to move that with my finger because it's way too much glue, is if you actually hold it in the light, you can see where your bits of glue are because they kind of shine. So I can kind of get a feel for, right, and we just want a little bit of sticky. I'll just wipe my fingers on that baby wipe. There we go. And then I've got a little tiny bit of gold leaf here. I've actually got this container is left over. I put it all into a big container. This stuff lasts forever. Seriously, I just, if you buy it, I don't think if you buy a tub of this, you'll never need to buy some ever again unless you're using it all the time. Pick it up with your brush, okay? Just a little bit like that, just sitting on the end of the brush. And then I'm just going to go over this that I've gone down the bottom here, and it's going to stick wherever it finds a bit of sticky. It's going to stick there. Oh, let me have a look and see. I missed a little bit. I've got a couple of little bit of, how simple, hey? Such a simple, quick little thing to do to add some sparkle. And for something like this, you can go really random with it. You don't need to be precise or adding it in a specific place. So I've got a little bit here that I would like a bit more. There we go. It's looking rather good. And see how nice this just sort of adds to this whole card. I don't know if you can see it. Looks really cute. So it's a bit sparkly. I know, right? So just a simple little thing that adds something straight away to the card. And all I'm going to do is I kind of just wash my brush, or, you know, even just run it back and forwards on your fingers, and most of that will come off. I'm just going to put the lid on and put that away. Put my lid on my glue. And now I'm ready to put that onto a piece of Pool Party, which is the color I used here. I think I had a Pool Party piece. Here it is. I thought I had one. And this is going to go right here like this. Yep. So let's use our Tombow. Angelina, I just need, unfortunately, I need to translate what you're saying. I would love to know what you're saying. There we go. All right, so now we have two cute little cards. I think that's a really simple little card that is a bit special with that gold shiny on it. Isn't it nice? Who asked about, did somebody ask? Oh, I see. Yeah, the gold leaf is from Stampin' Up. We have it in our catalog. It's and it's not expensive. It's really good, actually. Let me grab my catalog again and I'll just show you really quickly. It's up the back. If you go to the accessories index, oh, it's not under gold leaf. What is it under? It's not on my accessories page. But it should be on the same page, I would think, as like embossing powder and all that kind of stuff. So let me have a quick look. Unless we don't sell it anymore, and I'm still thinking that we do. If so, for those of you that had gold leaf in your collection, you can still use it, of course. Did we retire it? I know, right? I come across that all the time, Michelle. People go, oh my gosh, Tombow has two ends. Nobody knows this, but yeah, it's true. I can't see it. So maybe we don't have it anymore. I might have just learned something. If anyone can confirm that for me, that would be great. There you go. No worries. Well, I hope we still have it because I just used it. But even if we didn't, we do. It's in a weird place. We still sell it. That's what I thought, Jean. In the mini book? No, I don't think so, because it was something that came out in the annual catalogue. like last year, I think it was there. Anyway, we will find it. You think it retired, Jenny? Huh. I'm going to have to make a phone call about that tomorrow with Stampin' Up back when their office opens. I'll have to see if I can find out. If anyone else knows, I'd love you to comment. But I think if you have any, whether if you have any in your collection as a crafter or whether you bought some from Stampin' Up, it is a fantastic product and it's a lot of fun to use. Just remember it sticks to anything. It's with the embellishments. What page, Jean? Have you got a page number? Oh, I found it. Here, look, number 12, gilded leafing, they call it. $15.75 in Australia. Not retired, still available. There it is. Phew. I suddenly had this horrible thought that I was using something that you guys can't get, but you can. So it is the gilded leafing on page 143 of the catalogue. Oh, did I? Never mind, Michelle. Goodness me. Thank you, guys. I'm so happy because I thought for a second there I'd messed up. But anyway, there we go. We have our fabulous little fishy swimming in the sea with his gold. So there we go. All right. Card number 1 done. Let's quickly put these bits and pieces away. I'm going to get this out of the way for us. Such a fun set. Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for your comments. I tell you what, I would like, I'm after something from those of you who have purchased from me before, or, whether that be a class or you've been attending my lives or we've had some connection. If you're happy with the service you've received, I would really love it if you just wrote a kind little comment to let me know, because I'm putting together like a little some testimonials so that people who find me and haven't been around me before will know that I've got something to offer, because I've got people saying that I'm good at what I do. So if you have anything great to offer in that regard and you would like to help me out, I would love to hear from you. So you can either send it, you can either post it in the comments directly, which is fine, or you can send me a message. And I don't mind if it's here on if it's on the Facebook page or on YouTube or whatever. But if you don't mind me using your comments, that would be very, very helpful, because I'm trying to reach some new people, and it would be really great to be able to have people who've been around for a little while tell them that it's worth sticking around. So there we go. All right. So that's with the Seascape set. Would have been quicker and easier if we had the dies, but we didn't. So that's okay. And as you can see, it still turned out pretty great, and it wasn't hard to cut the fishy out. All right. So for the next card, I'm kind of playing with an idea. I don't know how it's going to go, but let's see. I thought I would play with the Waves of Inspiration set, and we might try and do it on some, just put this out of the way, on some watercolor paper and add some water and see if we can get it to swirl around and look cool. So it may or may not work, but we're going to find out. So I've got some of our Fluid 100 watercolor paper here, which is one of my favorite things. I just think it's lovely. And I'm going to start with, I'm thinking either Bermuda Bay, probably Bermuda Bay, I think might be the go. Let's pop this on to a block here. And I can always add some other colors later. So I've got the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I have cut it in half, so it's 5 by 7, and I've cut it in half at the 3.5 mark, so it's 5 by 3.5. And this will fit is a really good size actually for putting onto a card. Now let me see. There we go. All right, so I've actually brought this up a little bit from the bottom. Maybe I'll have a look and see whether or not I like it like that. Now I'm actually going, let's just start with that. I have I have a bit of, oh no, this has already got a color in it. Let me have a look and see if I've just got some plain water. I have in my water pens, and maybe that's what we have to do. I'm going through my, I've got like a little carousel of implements, blending brushes and water pens and scissors and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it just looks nice to spray and then see what it's going to do. Other times it's nice to add some water. So let's try and add some water and see. Let's see, is there much water in this one? This one's got a bit more in it. I'll just squeeze it through. All right. And I'm just going to kind of add a bit more water here and see if we can get it to pick up some different colors. And I thought it might be fun to play with one of the celebration sets. So I'm not going over the whole thing. I'm sort of going over part of it so that it kind of, you've got white in some bits, and yeah, it looks nice straight away. As soon as you add a bit of water on watercolor paper, it looks really good. All right. Now, what I was thinking might look really nice, I've done a few different things like sunsets and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually thinking I don't like this little bit of space here. So once that's dry, I might cut that off. We'll see. And I'm thinking I will do another little sunset. Because I'm doing this class this month, or this week in particular, with this stamp set, I'm wanting to use it as often as I can to remind you guys how versatile and amazing this set is, because you can do so many fun things with it. On Friday night, we made a shaker card, which turned out really great. I was really, really happy with it. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jean. That's lovely. Well, the way I figure with the tutorials is that anyone can do those, and that's the cool thing. Doesn't matter where people are, and that's why I do the PDFs now, to put the measurements in both inches as well as metric. That way, doesn't matter where people are, they can still do them. All right, so this is fresh freesia that I'm adding over the top. So the first color I used was So Saffron. I didn't want a really dark yellow. I'm adding a bit of fresh freesia, but I'm going to come in and add a bit of darker pink over the top of that. So and I'm going to use, now this is Magenta Madness. This is one of our retiring in colors. Super, super duper pink, almost like a candy pink. But I like it. Now I'm going to be losing a little bit of the top here, and I'll show you why in a minute. You're thinking, hang on a second, you said I was going to do a celebration set. Where is it? I promise it's coming. All right. Happy with that. So we look like, I don't know, it looks a little bit like almost like a sunset with a storm coming, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just letting my imagination go a little bit wild there. Now I've got here some paper, and I thought, I haven't tried this stamp set yet with the Island Vibes set, which is a set I've got to say I haven't used this very much. And you got your pineapple. I mean, you could put a pineapple inside the card if you wanted to keep to a real Hawaiian theme. But the stamp that I really like in here is this big one with the, like, looks like banana leaves, yeah. And you can have them going up or down. And in this case, I thought I'd have them coming down. So let's put them on this bigger block. Oh, you could cut the water otter. Oh, that's a nice idea too. Do you think we can have leaves and an otter, or is that too much? That might be going overboard. That might be going too far. Oh, yeah, you know what? It's fun, isn't it? Susan Campfield, and I know you visit Susan as well, Jean. She and I both like to try and do our lives this way. We love it, you know, asking our audience what they want, because it does a few things. First of all, it helps me not having to come up with a million ideas before I start, so it's less stressful for me. But yeah, I think that green works. This is just jade, by the way, if you're wondering what green I've got here. And this is another retiring in color. If you have got any of these retiring colors like Magenta Madness, like Just Jade, and you have the inks but you don't have the re-inkers, this is your public service announcement to buy the re-inkers now. Contact your demonstrator and tell them that you want to make sure you have all the ink refills you need, so that you aren't going to run out of ink in your lovely ink pads over the next couple of years and then not be able to replace them. Grab them now, because guess what sells out first when we bring out the retiring list. So Stampin' Up! Demonstrators get their look at what's retiring on the 24th. We also get to see the new catalogue. Very exciting. But customers don't actually get to start purchasing the retired stock if there's specials and that sort of thing. They don't get to purchase those until the 1st of April. But I'm still telling you now, because they don't normally. I'm not aware of them having discounted the re-inkers, and you don't want to be. They sell out so fast on these that you don't want to miss out altogether. I'd rather get them now, special or not, because they're only, what, $6.50 for an ink refill? I think it's $6.50. And thank you for beautiful words, Jean. I really appreciate that. Oh, you just came from watching Susan? Yes, Susan and I talk every day. She's my accountability buddy. She's a lovely person, and you know, she really does care so much about her customers and her team, and I am really honored to work with her. I love that we have some beautiful collaborations between demonstrators, and she comes up with really clever card ideas. You know, her thing is kind of fun fold cards, unusual folds, and unusual opening cards. That's kind of her thing. Sorry, I just realized you can't see what I'm doing because I'm off camera, and that's because I'm concentrating on cutting out these leaves. So what I'm doing, I'm cutting out the banana leaves. I'm just going sort of right around the whole thing. Nearly there. And then I'm going to put them over the top here. This is the bit where I'm deciding, Megan, whether an otter as well is too much. Her name is Susan Campfield. And she, on the internet, I think she's on there as Sue Stampfield. So this is going to appear at the top here. See, this is kind of cute, huh? It looks like you're looking from, you know, you're sitting under some banana leaves over here on the beach, and the wave is rolling in, but not on top of you. You know, it's going that way. All right, let's use some dimensionals. So this is still available with a purchase of $90. It's a gift with purchase. Okay, so this set here with the leaves, this one is Island Vibes. We have got some lovely celebration sets, and they are available until this Wednesday, the 16th of March. After that, all gone. You won't be able to get them anymore. All right, so I'm putting this over this edge here. What do we think? Do we like this? Had the otters. You have all right. Do you think we need otters? All right. Hang on. Let me grab the otters. I haven't used my otters nearly enough, you know. And where do we want the otter? Do we want this one here that's just popping up out of the waves, or will I do one of the others and I can chop their heads off? That doesn't sound very nice. You know, someone don't tell the RSPCA, and have I could have really any of them. Probably not this one, because this one's got it's got the little fishy on the top here. But I'm thinking one of these guys just popping out of a wave might be rather nice. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. This one here. Yeah, crazy at least once in a while. Hey, that's me all the time. All right. You like the otters, Angelina? Let's give them a try. I'm going to stamp them in. I'm thinking I'll go with Memento Black, and then we can colour them in. And I'm just going to stamp it on this piece here. Scrap. All right. I'm going to colour him first. I'm deciding what colour. Do we want a grey otter or a brown otter? What do we think? People think grey or brown. I can't decide. The floaty one to the right and the other popping out from the wave. Well, that's very ambitious, I think. Oh, thank you, Michelle. That's lovely. That's perfect. It's just what I need to I can use those. I hope I have your permission, you girls, to use your comments. That would be lovely. Grey, brown, grey. Megan, you're first with brown. And look, I just pulled out the grey. What do we think? Does the grey look better next to this? Or I'm just looking to see what else do I have. This is crumb cake, or I could use some of my new blends in the darker colors, you know, the skin tone ones. That's good for animals as well. I'm thinking the grey might look better with these colors, although these are the skin tones and those look nice. Too many. Angelina wants grey. You know what? I got to see a sea otter when we were in Victoria, over in Canada. We were there for just a day, and we went whale watching. And one of the things we got to do was to hang out and see a sea otter in the middle of the ocean playing. He was a lonely, solitary cinnamon cider. Oh, I don't have that in blends, unfortunately. I don't have a cinnamon cider blend. That's naughty of me, I know. Skin tone, says Jean. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, he was just the most gorgeous. All right, let's try these ones. He was the most gorgeous sea otter, and he was huge. I don't know if you've ever seen a sea otter, but they're big, much bigger than you think. You know, you think you're going to see a little guy. He's really, really big. Right, I'm going to colour him. I'm using the big end because it does certainly colour faster, and we've got enough surface area. If we have very fine detail work, very fine small areas to colour, then I would definitely use the other end. I'm just going to go over the bottom here and actually darken that up a little bit. And then maybe I might use a little of this very light one. This is one of the fair ones for his tummy. And I might keep his face not coloured, perhaps. And I do have a black. I'm going to use the thin end. I'm going to all right, let's cut him out. Doing a bit of cutting tonight, aren't we? Hey? And I'm not going to, if I was going to colour the water that he's in, I would use Bermuda Bay to try and blend it in. But I'm actually thinking I might just get him coming straight out of the wave. And I'm actually going to cut right along the line at the bottom here. I'm not going to leave a gap because I want him just coming out of the water. I don't want a gap between. I'm hoping that the cat was knocking on the door earlier, but I think one of the kids locked him out down the end of the hallway so he can't bang on the door. This is my big pussy cat. This is not Crumpet. This is Merlot. Merlot is the hungry one. All right. So now we've got an otter coming out here. Does that make sense what we're doing with our otter? Should he be on dimensionals or should he be flat? I'm thinking maybe he should be flat so he actually looks like he's coming out of the water. And I'm going to use a Bermuda Bay marker to colour in these little raindrop, the little water drops. And let's stick him down. Well, this is certainly quite different to what I was expecting to do. This is not where I thought I was going with this card at all. Look at that. We've ended up with something totally different because you guys told me so. And I'm actually going to get rid of this line here because it's annoying me. So I'm going to cut that a little bit shorter. That looks better. And maybe I'll use Pool Party again. Either Pool Party or white for our card base. So let's try both and we'll see which one looks best. You like it cute? It's not what I was expecting. I was thinking, a nice scenery card. Hey, you guys have got me doing things that I don't even think I'm going to do. But it's fun because that's how we end up creating new ideas. It's a good collaboration. All right, so if I'm going to go on Pool Party, this is how that's going to look. Looks good, I think. It's nice. Or if I'm going to go on white, which one looks better? The white pops more, definitely. Ah, thank you, Angelina. And thanks for the translation, Cherie. I really appreciate that. You think he's cute, Pam? Nice to see you, Pam. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh, it's a girl. Is it Cherie? I don't know why. I was just assuming it was a boy. Oh, it's funny. Oh, thanks, Nari. You know what? It's my pleasure. As you guys probably know, I love doing this. This is my idea of fun, and I look forward to my Friday night and Sunday night lives. Sometimes I need a glass of wine and a lie on the lounge when I'm done, but I still really enjoy them and look forward to them. All right, so that's the Pool Party, and that's the white. What do we think? All right. I'm going back and looking to see, because there's a few comments now, a few people saying what they think. Megan suggested yours is the first one, Megan, a white mat on the Pool Party. Yes, possibly we could do that. We could do a white mat. I think I have some more white over here. Let me grab some more. And then on the Pool Party, you're the first one, so let's go with that. And that way we're doing both, aren't we? Pool Party mat, Denise says. White mat on Pool Party says different from, yeah. Yeah, we were in Fiji. Actually, I had us in Hawaii initially, but all right, let's try this. Right, I think, actually, you know what? I think the white mat is lovely. That's a great idea. Let's go with it. And yep, it's good. And so I'm going to pop some, make sure it's running. See, and if you hadn't come up with that idea, I would not have thought to do it. So, and you know, this is the last week of celebrations, so we might as well use our celebration sets while we can. Otters and island vibes, both. And it's something different, right? All right, I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Because it's a longer piece, I think 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 won't be enough. So I'm going to put one along the long side as well. One here and one here. Take off the backs. Oh, thank you very much, Angelina. And Cherie, you're doing a great job at translating. Thank you, because I can do that. Sometimes I look back after the video and try and translate any comments that came in that I wasn't able to understand at the time. And but after then it's too late and nobody's here to hear what hear me respond. So thank you very much. Oh, doesn't it look good? The white mat on the pool party was perfect. We like that. I think a sentiment right here would be good. The wave set has that beautiful, I mean, if we're going to do happy birthday, which this would work for a birthday card, I think. We would use, you know, that little, oh, where did it go? Here it is. The little one here that fits in the happy birthday. That label right there would look rather good. We could put that there. Or I could stamp straight on with a darker color. Really, there's lots of options. Oh, it's my pleasure, Megan. I get a buzz out of hearing what you guys want to do, and sometimes it leads you in totally different directions, and that's what happened tonight. All right, I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss. So this is the machine that's 20% off right now. In Australia, normally these retail for $104, and right now you can get it for $83. So that's a really good deal. So let's put our base plate on first, then plate number 2. They are numbered so you can see which one goes where, which is great. It's a little bit wide, but I'm going to manage it. And let's put this on top. Whoops. Move these things out of the way. As usual, I've managed to get myself into a complete mess, but that's just how I roll. I love my little cut and emboss machine. I think that's great. And it's really, really good for little, smaller dies. And in fact, it cuts bigger dies than you expect. Anything that's 9 centimeters across or 3.5 inches across. So it's more than what you would think. All right, so this is going to go here. And I think I'm deciding what color. I could go with the black because I made my otter in black, or I could go with the Just Jade because that's nice and dark, or we could even go with the pink. What color should our word be? Does anyone have an idea? I'm going to get it on the block while I wait for someone to tell me what color I should use. So this is the Happy Birthday from the Waves of the Ocean, sorry, Waves of Inspiration set, which is the one that fits on this other little label. Let's put it straight. That's better. Black, says Megan. Megan, you've got fast fingers tonight. You seem to be hello would work well too, Jean, because it could be this little guy saying hello. I was just going Angelina meant with a trimmer without having adhered them together. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. Yes, I know. I've got a pretty good eye for when things are on my trimmer. I guess I've just done it so many times that I'm well and truly across it. I could stamp something else on here, but I was just going to go with your touch typist. Yeah, you are very fast tonight. Very fast. And I see Angelina, Cherie, no, Cherie. Angelina asked you a question. Did you see that? It's got lots of question marks at the end, so I know she asked you something. All right, let's give this a whirl. Let's try and get this straight. I am going to go with happy birthday just because it's here and it's simple and it's easy, and I've just gone with black because we did our otter in black. So I'm going to pop this on some mini dimensionals. I think Pool Party will be a little bit light. So, Cherie, I have a question for you. Hey, Wendy, nice to see you. You made it. Cherie, my question is, are you using Google Translate or do you speak Dutch? Which one? Let's pop this down here. So it's just... Now, you could tie a ribbon through these little holes, which actually looks really nice. That would look really good. I do actually have, where is it? Pool Party sheer ribbon. Or even something very smallish, so you could go with your white seam binding. That would look nice. Or we could use the Pool Party sheer. The Pool Party sheer, I probably would use the hole over this side. I don't want to get anything too close to Mr. Otter. So let's see how this looks. I do love this sheer ribbon. I've been using it a lot just lately. It's so pretty and it's nice to tie. So I'm just going to pull the ends so that the loops are small. And because it's sheer, it doesn't mess with your, it doesn't overwhelm your card. So sorry, I adjust my ribbon, my bow. I'm going to use my ribbon scissors just to chop that off. So there we go. We ended up with something totally different to what I thought where we were going, but I'm really glad we went there. So we ended up with two cards tonight. Which one was the one I just did? Was it this one or that one? They both look so similar. It was this one. Those are the two we did tonight. They kind of go together too. One's landscape, one's portrait. But they kind of match all my favorite colors. What do you think, guys? How did that go? I'm here in Australian time or Sydney time. I'm from 7:30 on a Friday night, 7:30 on a Sunday night. And occasionally I do other videos during the week, either pre-recorded or the occasional live. But if there's something big happening, something like a big deal, new catalog, new promotion, new something, I might go live at other times. But my plans usually are to go live on a Friday night and a Sunday night. And they're my regular nights. And I chose those because they're very often nights that my husband is working. So it's a really good night for me. I don't feel like I'm abandoning him because he's not here. So there you go. Good night, Denise. Good night, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic week ahead, whatever you might be doing. And please pop back again. If you haven't hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, please do that for me. It really helps me keep going, and I'm building my audience and hoping that I can reach more and more people, that they'll see that I've got some really great things to offer here. And thank you so much for sticking with me, and it's so lovely to see you every Friday and Sunday night. See you all soon. Bye-bye.